What's up, everybody? It is Pirate Stacker. This is the Pirate Podcast. I decided to call it the Pirate Podcast. I just came up with that myself. Still figuring out the odds and ends of how to get this set up correctly before I come on the air. What's up, Transient Stacker? Great to see you today. Good morning, good morning. We're going to get us set up on our doohickey here and see if we can make this work. Maybe. We're coming. We're getting there. We're getting closer. Hey, we're here. I made it. I made it to my own thing. What's happening, everybody? This is the Pirate Podcast. Or Pirates Podcast. I had to look up what is a podcast. Because I'm like, what am I doing? If I'm going to go live every day and talk about stuff, right? Then is that a podcast? So I looked up the actual definition. A series of audio or video episodes often focused on a specific topic that are distributed online for listeners to download or stream on demand. So this is definitely a podcast. So welcome to Pirates Podcast. We're going to be here. I'm going to try and do 11 o'clock, Monday through Friday. We will talk about various things. It's great to have you guys out. I'm definitely going to have to work on how I get this set up so I can get my thumbnail picture taken, which was not working, clearly, if you saw my thumbnail. Welcome. It's Tuesday. Today, I was like, I got to pick a topic, and I have a million things I can talk about, but I will talk about one that I deal with every day, which is self-employment, right? I've been self-employed 20 years. Now, that doesn't mean I haven't worked other jobs besides or along with, but I've been self-employed 20 years. I've started up numerous businesses, and I bring this up because I haven't worked for anybody else in years. It's been a long time. What's up, Shelly A? What coin show am I going to next? Man, I really wanted to go to the New Smyrna Beach show this Saturday. But my daughter is having her birthday party, and then I work at Home Depot that day as well. So I'm doubled up. It will probably be the Maitland Coin Show first Sunday of the month, which I think is that next Sunday? Not this Sunday, it would be next Sunday. Yes, Sunday the 6th, I will be at the Maitland Coin Show. Next one. Shout out to Erwin Wheeler, my number one fan in Oklahoma. Good to see you this morning, Erwin. Glad you could make it. Yes, next weekend. William Fender in the house. Hello. Good to see you, man. It's awesome getting to connect with a bunch of you guys doing the live stream thing. Being able to talk real time, say hey, all of that stuff. So very cool. So back to what I was talking about, self-employment. I've been self-employed since 2005. Drawing house plans, designing homes. Had a big office, hired my friends, taught them how to draw CAD, did the whole thing, lost it all in 2008, and I've kind of just been doing my own thing. Good morning, Captain Dino Man. Dino Man? I don't know which one. Dino Man, probably. And being self-employed is fantastic. It does come with ups and downs. Obviously, the pro for what I do is being able to work when I want to work. Now, that doesn't always work out. Morning YFZ Moto and level 1, Dino like the dinosaur. But it's one of those things. If the family wants to go to Disney and it's a weekday, I can work my schedule around that. I can go to Disney too. And, if I want to go on a vacation, I plan it in, right? I don't got to go ask anybody. Those are the upsides for sure. Obviously, the money working for yourself is better as well. The downsides, of course, benefits suck. You got to pay out the wazoo for any kind of benefits, which I usually don't have. Doing your own accounting, also brutal. Hire somebody, definitely hire somebody. Yeah, lots of hours, like YFZ Moto says here. It's true. I don't shut off. Even if I don't take calls, people are calling me after hours, weekends, texting, and you can do things to mitigate that. You can set up your own private business line. You can do all that stuff. So it's my own fault. But you definitely, when you're self-employed, you're concerned about when's the next job coming, where's it coming from, how do you achieve that? There is those stresses. But yes, the rewards much outweigh the downside, And I'm really finding that. I got this part-time gig at Home Depot. I was like, I just want to clock in. I want to interact with people. I want to do that stuff. And it's one of those things where it's like, it was in the garden center. I like gardening and I love talking to people and interacting in that regard. But when you genuinely are making $16 an hour clocking in and clocking out, it really puts into perspective what you are worth. And if you've never been self-employed and you've never seen that sort of thing, it's one of those deals where, somebody says they'll pay you 16 an hour for your time. You go, okay, can I get 18? Will somebody give me 20? And when you're self-employed and you potentially are making $100 or $200 an hour, now obviously that averages out, and you don't always make that unless you're an attorney or something fantastic. But I'm a month into Home Depot, and I can't help but be like, all right, it's an 8-hour shift. Well, that's cool. That's a quick $128. It gets taxed. It's this, it's that. And you're like, that's not bad, I guess. But at the same time, good morning, Mr. and Mrs. West Texas Stacker. Arr. At the same time, you look at what you're missing out on, right? And in my particular instance, I'm still squeezing in the work. I still do my drafting work, right? And that's a full-time gig for me, drawing plans. That hasn't slowed up, and the money is equally as good. But what am I missing? And I now am realizing that I'm a month in, I'm missing my family time. This, whether it's 20 hours a week or 30 hours a week or 10 hours a week, I'm missing my family time by being at this job. And is my family time worth $16 an hour? Even my real time, I don't know that it's worth $16 an hour, but my family time, now that makes it really difficult because that's time I won't get back. And my oldest boys, I was a single dad. I had married both of their moms. Didn't work out, and I had to work. I had to do stuff to figure it out. I didn't get to spend as much time with them as I have been able to with my daughter. And yes, Shelly brings up a good point. If you ask me a question, say, "Arg, matey," and then I'll know that you're asking a question. Also, let me bring up, and I'll bring it up again later, if you have topics for me to talk about on my morning podcast, Pirates Podcast, leave me a comment below and I'll pick from them and we'll answer some questions. We'll have a discussion. This is kind of what I'm doing. It's fun. This for me is enjoyable, being able to interact with you guys and share and talk and all of those things. So going back to, yes, YFZ Moto brings up the biggest point, the greatest point about not being self-employed is punching out, and I don't have a care in the world. I don't care what happens at Home Depot or whatever job you're at. You clock out, you're off the clock, it's done, right? Self-employed, it's never over. But my time with my daughter has had so much more time with me as a parent, being two parents, having her mom and dad in the household, raising her. And that's been dramatic. And, she brought up, you don't think about it until you start doing these other things. My daughter brought up that she didn't like that I was gone. In fact, it made her sad that I was working. And that really kind of touched on a nerve because I was kind of like, she's never had me not working from home. Her whole life, she's 10, she's going to be 11 Thursday. Her whole life, I've worked from home. I've been self-employed. I work on a computer. And you take it for granted, she does her own thing and this and that. But you start thinking about it, I'm always here. She has a question, I'm always here. She's doing whatever she's doing and looks up, I'm always here. And you think that doesn't matter so much, I think people get complacent and you're like, that's one of those things where you're like, she could care less if I'm here. She's getting to that age, she has her friends and this and that. But if she's never experienced me not being here and then suddenly I'm gone for half a day or all day, that's rough, That's one of those things. It's affecting her in a way. And it really it puts it in perspective for me. Again, you think about, it's a change of pace. I'm still making money. We're still providing. We're doing all that stuff. Good morning, James Real. Good to see you, man. I'm still doing all those things, but at what cost? Now I don't have evenings with my daughter. Not every evening. I'm at Home Depot. And that stuff gets to weigh on you. I couldn't imagine doing this long term. And in fact, I'm really rethinking it short term. Even losing a little time is starting to become more and more of a thing. I don't know which way I'm going to go with this. I'm one of those, I'm old school. I don't like to give people a commitment and not be there. And I definitely know they're counting on me. Not that they can't run without me. They certainly can. The depot carries on. I feel like every day they're missing people daily. People call out. It's crazy. Whole new world. So self-employment, you're working for yourself. You put in the work, you reap the rewards, right? You get what you sow. Are any of you guys self-employed? Have any of you guys done something? Family, man. I'll tell you what, my family is my greatest accomplishment. I just sent him on his way, but I'll be calling him as soon as I get off here. Yeah, by far my greatest accomplishment is my family. And it's one of those things. Can my Home Depot hours be school hours? They could be. They definitely would be down for that. I can't do that. However, I've built up my business. And so my daytime hours, I am expected by people to take calls, return emails. And truthfully, I'm drafting at least 40 hours a week. I'm busy. I've stayed busy. And I remain busy. So it's one of those things that that business I've built over the last 20 years, that's definitely my priority. So, it's not a big thing. Some of the businesses I have started and the successes I've had being an entrepreneur, I think of businesses all the time. For me, I get bored. I've done this so long, I get bored, right? And I get excited to think about a new project. It's definitely one of those things that you just like. The funnest part is starting something new. It's new, it's shiny, it's awesome. So it's one of those things where, like, when there's a new project inbound, man, I want to devote everything to it. And I feel like if people ever actually realized, if you wanted to do something, for example, become self-employed, if you actually, oh man, Scrap Metal Racing, Check Stacker, good to see you guys this morning. If you actually devoted 40 hours a week to it, there's almost no way you wouldn't succeed. Most people, they work a 9 to 5 or a full-time gig. They dream of being self-employed. They try to dip their toe in. They'll do a side job here or there. And it's really hard to do that. It's really hard to build something doing that. But I've found if you throw yourself into it, there really isn't an obstacle you can't overcome. If you're devoting 40 hours a week, like a real commitment, within a month, you'll have it figured out. You'll start being lucrative. You can learn a lot if you devote that kind of time to anything, whether it's a new job, a new business, whatever the case may be. Some of my businesses, I started up those coupon books where basically businesses advertise. They give you all this buy one pizza, get one free stuff. Man, when I was living in Utah, those things were everywhere. And they would sell the books for 35, 40 bucks, this, that, and the other, but it'd have, a couple grand in value in the book. I started one. I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. And I didn't know anything about marketing. I found somebody that was good with doing computer stuff to be able to make coupons. And I went around and hit up businesses. And, it was one of those things. They would give a coupon, they would get the advertising, and I wasn't charging them, but I would sell the book. And I ended up having a whole team of people selling my book. They'd sell the book for 20 bucks. They'd keep 10. I'd get 10. It cost 2 to print. So it was 8 bucks profit in my pocket, 10 bucks profit for them. And man, they'd go knock some doors and they'd sell the heck out of them. So teenagers were going nuts selling this book. That was a creative, that was so fast that I put that together. It didn't take any time at all. That was literally within 2 weeks, I had a whole book of coupons. It was wild. And I was just copying somebody else's good idea. I did start a tattoo parlor. I was tired of my tattoo guy never being available, and I started my own tattoo shop with a friend who was a tattoo artist. Now, I already had a lot of tattoos, but I got a lot more once I had a tattoo parlor. And incidentally, that's still open. It's called Garage Inc. back in St. George, Utah. And that was probably some of the most fun I had was owning that tattoo parlor. I only got out of that, and I did sell out, so I didn't actually walk away at a loss. That was profitable. I sold out of my share in that. There just wasn't enough money to go around. I wasn't a tattoo artist, so it was one of those things. What's next? What else did I do? I started up a ranch business, making ranch dressing. My buddy Jason, my best friend. If you've lived in Utah, you would understand they put ranch on everything. And not all ranch dressing is created the same. And when we moved out here, back in Utah, they had an amazing ranch dressing company called Wild Coyote. And it was fantastic. And, I'd been on MasterChef. I like to cook. I'm like, There is no good ranch in Florida. So I created my own. And me and him, we did all the taste testing, this and that. We created an amazing ranch dressing. And we went to sell it. There wasn't enough profits in that. I sold my end to him. He actually kept making ranch dressing for like 2 years selling it. And he ended up giving it up as well. So it's one of those things. I still have the recipe. Don't worry. I make my own ranch dressing here and there. I did start up a game store, Black Lotus Games. That was a fun business. When was I a master chef? Season 8. I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago now. If you look it up, season 8, episode 2, I am in a cupcake battle with Newton, Cowboy Chef Newton, and that was a lot of fun. But good stories anyway. Well, I didn't want to drag this on too long. Here we are at 20 minutes. 20 minutes flies by when you're just talking about stuff. Back to the self-employed entrepreneurship. I did the game shop. I also did a prepping store with my buddy Jason again. That's all the businesses I've started. I definitely have the bug. Entrepreneurship, if you've ever thought about it, take the leap, learn. It's never a failure if you learn. That's really the biggest thing. But again, I've built a very nice life. I live in a beautiful home. We drive new cars. We take vacations. And, it's one of those things that I've done very well with my trade of drawing house plans and being self-employed. Mr. and Mrs. West Texas Stacker brought up YouTube promotion, paid promotions. Are they worth it? I get hit up all the time to do paid promotions. I don't do them because unless it's something I'm interested in, like the water filtration unit, I took that. I was like, I don't even want to get paid. Just send me a unit. I want the unit. So I typically, if there's something I'm interested in, I'll do their promotion in exchange for their product. But actual paid promotion, I know people making $500 to do a video about gold stocks or this or that. There's definitely money in it. This is just not an angle I've pursued for me personally. Now, I did start my channel memberships back up for $1.99. I will have some things special to that. There's a whole bunch of content I made previously, and I really wanted to give people exposure to that stuff that were interested, as well as it just helps to go towards paying shipping and stuff of that nature. So, yes, there's a ton of angles. You can make money a million different ways in life, and that's without a doubt. If you've got the drive, if you've got the ingenuity, do it. Give it a try. I love seeing people do what they love and making money. I'm still working on that. The game shop was close. I really enjoyed it. It was just really hard to find good help, and that was disappointing. And I ended up putting in more time than it was worth because I was missing out on my family. So it's one of those things. Nobody should be out asking for money. There's a lot of ways to make money. There's a lot of jobs dying to hire people to make money. I think there's mental illness and other things go along with the panhandlers, but that's it for today. I'm going to wrap this up. Self-employment. Is it worthwhile? 100%. It's been a great life. It's afforded me a lot of things. And I definitely enjoy being self-employed and my own boss. And you really see that when you go and work and give somebody else 100%. And you get $16 an hour. It's blatantly obvious. Now, some of you, I'm missing your comments because they're just zinging by because I get several of them back to back. Thank you guys all for talking to me and hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow, 11 o'clock. Come watch the show. Leave me. Am I dying or something? No, I'm not dying. I'm actually good. I mean, my body's really sore from putting in the Home Depot hours, but I'm doing really well. So thank you for asking. Thank you for watching. We'll see y'all tomorrow, 11 o'clock, same time, same place. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Catch you next time. Pirate out. Arr.